Hey YouTube, I want to talk about deprival of funding, financial abuse, so many other things that are happening that deprives a United States citizen of actually having a proper life, of actually putting them in vulnerable situations for human trafficking, for so many different other things taking place with them, not being able to find a secure place of living, um, a multitude of issues, because some of this stuff is aided and abetted by some of the agencies that are supposed to be looking out for us. They have weaponized these agencies where the agency has no consequence. So, what happened? The state goes in, they do an editing of the statutes. Back in the days, the statute had a governing agency that governs that agency. That agency is supposed to be checked and balanced by another agency. All checks and balances they removed, right? So don't nobody check on them. So they feel that it's okay to be a sovereign state or whatever the case may be. I don't have anything against sovereignty because I know originally sovereignty was formed because of the facts that there was no checks and balances of agency. But everything has been infiltrated. We got the Freemasonry that has been infiltrated because these people screaming they're Freemasons, and I know real Freemason is not trying to be in bondage or hold anybody else in bondage. You have all these different things. You have them infiltrating religious people. You have them infiltrating the Catholic. That's why we were dealing with the situation where they say the little boys was being raped and sexually assaulted. That all came from infiltration. That all came from a group of people, a secret society infiltrating the 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 government, us, religious beliefs, religious systems, religious facilities, churches, and everything. This comes from one entity attacking other entities. It comes from a lot of different things, and a lot of people don't talk about it. We are dealing with financial turmoil. So, what this means is a young woman, you may be as young as 11, 9, 10, 14 years old. You have to learn to survive without money, right? Or minimum to no money. And what that means is there's no opportunities really out there for you. You're vulnerable and you're left vulnerable to be exploited, to be sexually trafficked, or whatever the case may be. But in this situation, it's for them to say that you were okay with it because you finally made a decision to do an act that compromises you. So what this is, okay, they take away money from you so that you can get into tourism or you can script at a script club or something like that. All of that is taken from you for a reason to get you into that type of behavior so that they can condone what they're already doing behind the scenes, so that they can condone the rape situations that they're putting you in. Oh, well, she was into prostitution, she was into working at a strip club, she was into all these different things when that's not you. But that's the purpose of them not giving you money. I remember it was me and I had three children and I was on government assistance, $303 a month. That's all I was given. $303 a month to take care of four people in the home. I could not afford school clothes for the kids. There's no school clothes. I have to beg people for clothing. I can't afford clothes. 300, listen to me. I can't afford rent. Rent was being paid by Section 8. I can't really afford light and water, but that's the mandate that I have to pay. So half of that money, if not all of it, is going to that. So I have no washing powder to wash clothing with. I have nothing to buy pads with. I have no soap. I have nothing that I need for comfortability. Of course, you can survive with $303, but what type of survival will you have? It's the question. It's not even comfortable for you to survive like that because you really don't have what you need. You can't really clean the house adequately. So now you're in piss poor conditions of health, piss poor conditions as far as the means of the house and the upkeeping of the house, because you really can't afford, and it's no real affordability for you to be able to buy things reasonably. Even if you go to the dollar store and say, okay, well, I'm going to set myself on a dollar budget. How far will $303 take you? And trust me, I love shopping at the dollar store. I think it's the best thing that these people have ever made. But at the same time, and I love Dollar General, their Dollar Owl. I love Family Dollar, their Dollar Owl. I love the dollar stores, period. Bargain stores, I'm for it. Flea markets, I'm for it. But guess what? How far can you go on $303? How many items can you actually pick up on $303? And let's say that you don't even have $303. Let's say after you pay the bills, you only have $50 left, if that. What are you going to do as far as soul survival? Remind you, I was just not dealing with a situation. I only had $200 a month. That was all that was given to me. $200 a month to survive off of. Every time I was trying to apply for a job, I could not get a job. My phone's blocked and everything. This was thrown in my face. It's so that you can hold yourself out. Guess what? I didn't. I didn't date. I didn't talk to a dude. Honestly, I started talking to this guy. And I mean, I had like thought that he would be the perfect guy, and stuff. After I was pretty much breaking up with the other dude that I was dating, and I'm getting into another relationship with another guy because the other dude wasn't going to do right no matter what I did. It just wasn't going to work. So I started trying to talk to another guy, and then I woke up and realized none of these men had my best interests at heart. I woke up and I realized God just like gave me an epiphany that I had been dating all these years and nobody was putting anything into me, but they were just taking, taking, taking. And when you're around a group of takers, they want you to think that you're giving them something and they're not. Guess what? They're taking from the children because guess what? They get treated better sometimes than the children get treated because they can fend for themselves. So it was so many different things that had done put me in a bad situation because of financial turmoil and not having. And I had to go through years and years of this. And when I finally started to be able to provide for myself, okay, now I'm going through them trying to take it by any means necessary and stuff like that. Nobody even knew how many times they're trying to take my finances, trying to take me from working and stuff. There's so many times I have to stop working because I'm on the job and the people at the job don't want to work with me as far as my time shift. The buses, the earliest the bus is going to get me there is at 7. So I need my I need my work schedule changed because that's the earliest I can get there. I can't keep, trying to come into work late because eventually that's a liability. You're going to fire me either way it go, but I'm doing the best that I can. I need some help and some accommodations to make sure that that's happening. But these jobs don't care. They want you to show up to their job at 5 a.m. in the morning. I don't have a problem with that, but do you have a bus system that runs at 5 a.m. in the morning? Then you need to do a 24-hour bus system if you're expecting people to show up at certain locations at certain times. You don't have adequate busing or public transportation to be making these type of demands and not willing to work with people as far as scheduling. But that's the type of stuff a lot of times we go through. So guess what happens? Either you can resign and bow out gracefully and still be able to work for the company, but at a later time. Or you can turn around and you can keep going to that job late and get fired. And now you can't work for them ever again. So these are things that we're faced with because we don't have finances. We don't have the opportunities. We don't have the tools that we need to be productive in society. And guess what? It's getting worse. It's not getting better because they're cutting the bus systems more and more because, remind you, our government is going through turmoil. We're not sure if these businesses are going to continue forth working and doing what they do. We're not sure what's going to take place. We're just trying to hold on to a little bit of faith that, hey, maybe things will get better. I got to remind you, I had to cut off receiving food stamps, Medicaid, and everything because I was being targeted. They were trying to lock me up for no reason at all, just because I was on food stamps and Medicaid. They didn't want me to get food stamps and Medicaid. They didn't want me to go to the food pantries. And a lot of people don't understand when you're in a community that targets you, you're at the food pantry, you're just minding your own business or whatever, and you're being targeted, you're being taken through so much turmoil because you're using the food pantries, you're using Medicaid, you're using food stamps. And I don't know if it's the fact that these systems have been around for so long and have been abused for so long, because what I'm starting to learn is that these people are getting paid off of your food stamps. They're getting where you're supposed to get $600 worth of food stamps per person. You're not going to get that. You're lucky if you get two. And that's what it really takes to actually support a house of just one person. It takes about $600 to buy adequate food and groceries and nutrition for yourself, and not have to go out other places and seek that type of nutrition. They don't care. This poverty thing is what they're doing, and they are making millions off of it. And this is how it's going to be for a while. They're going to advance themselves off of poverty. And what they're doing, think about it, $303. How are you going to buy kids school clothes, pay light, water, rent, buy school clothes, buy a car, put gas in the car, go look for employment, pay for childcare, do any of that? But that's the welfare system. So you're using one program to cover for another program, to cover for another program that covers for another program. And all you is in a bunch of programs, and none of it is really advancing you, because all of it's giving you small amounts of money where it's not really enough to actually do what you have to do. Because if they give you money, because they really don't believe in giving money, that's something else too. You have to realize they don't believe in giving you money. They want you to give back the money, but they don't believe in giving you money at all. I have been months waiting on Social Security to clear. I just went to the hospital. My blood pressure was so low. They're wondering how I got there. They don't care. They want you to give them the money that's given to you. They want you to pay your light, your water, all this stuff with whatever is given to you. And truth be told, if you're on Social Security, if you're on any of that stuff, after you finish paying the bills, paying for Medicare, paying for whatever you have to pay, you have nothing left. So this is the financial turmoil. So eventually you have one or two choices. Either you can do wrong and make extra money, or stay doing right and have nothing. And that's what people are going through. And even if you're staying right and having nothing, they're plotting in the system where they lock you up and put you in a jail cell because they say you're never going to have. And that's what's been going on as well. Stay blessed, stay up. May God bless you. May my testimonies bring you healing.